Hey everyone, I'm Chris from Champion Helmets, and today we're going to be comparing the Shoei GT Air 2 and the Shark Spartan Carbon 1.2. So before me today, I have two full-face sports touring helmets, the Shoei GT Air 2 on my left and the Shark Spartan Carbon 1.2 on my right. Now with these helmets, because they fill the same role as a sports touring helmet, there's going to be plenty of similarities between them. But today we're going to be looking at the differences and what makes them unique and special. So remember as well with these helmets that the Shark Spartan Carbon 1.2 is going to come in at around $400 to $500 RRP, and the Shoei GT Air 2 is going to come in at around $600 RRP. So it's a little bit lower on the Shark. Keep that in mind. Also remember that you can subscribe to us on YouTube, and that way you can stay up to date with everything motor gear related. Alright, so now for the shell. So we can start by taking a look at the shell of the Shoei GT Air 2. It's going to be made out of a mixture of layers of organic fiber, resin, and also fiberglass. Now for the Shark Spartan Carbon, it's going to be made out of fiberglass, but also carbon fiber. And you can see the carbon fiber coming through in the design, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this is going to be a lighter shell. It's also going to be perhaps a stronger material. So the edge does go here to Shark. It also looks cooler, I think. Now, we did weigh these helmets, and it came in for the Shoei GT Air at 1.45 kilograms, and the Shark Spartan Carbon came in at 1.3. Now, before you say it's unfair, they're both the same size. They're both in a size M, so it's a fair comparison. And it's much lighter on the Shark Spartan Carbon, noticeably lighter, so the edge in this round definitely goes to Shark. So when it comes to ventilation, we're going to skip it, and that's because it's going to be very similar. It's the same kind of position, the same kind of size, even the back exhausts are going to be almost the same. So instead, we're going to jump straight into the visor, where there are a few differences. First of all, the visor seal and the visor mechanism is going to be stronger on the Shoei. They make great visors, great mechanisms, so it's what we expect. Now, that doesn't mean it's terrible on this helmet. The visor seal on the Shark is pretty good. It's just going to be not as good as that of the Shoei, so it does win out there. Plus, we also don't have a cracked city position on the Shark, whereas we do on the GT Air 2, which is indicative of being a better visor mechanism. Now, both helmets do have an internal sun visor, sorry. So let me just drop that down. Do it on this one. You do have to use this slider at the back here. I don't particularly like that. I think it's a little bit unintuitive, whereas this, much easier. So I do prefer the sun visor mechanism, at least, of the Shoei GT Air 2. Now, I do think, though, that the sun visor is going to drop down lower on the Shark Spartan Carbon than it does on the Shoei GT Air 2. So that's going to be a little bit of a preference thing. Better visor seal, perhaps a better sun visor. Depends on what you use more, I guess. So now it's time to talk about the liner, and the edge here definitely goes to Shoei, in my opinion. They're both going to be pretty comfortable liners and all that, but let me just move this helmet away. And I'll pull out the headliner. But the Shoei is just easier to remove, it's easier to put back in. It's all around better, in my opinion. And you can see on the headliner, like, there's nothing really out of place here. Everything looks nice and neat and tidy. It has a good quality finish to it. Then if I show you the inside with the EPS, it's also going to be the same. There's nothing really out of place. You can see the channels there. You know, it's quality. That's how that finish is. Now for the Shark one, now I'm going to be honest, I have pre-loosened this. I took the back bit out already. And these snaps, I've only got a couple in because it's a much harder liner to take out and put in. And this one's not bad. You know, it does have something of a cheaper feel to it, in my opinion, here especially. And I find the pins and the inserts for these pins, they're very weak. So be careful pulling your liners out. It's possible to pull out like the anchor point for these pins. So definitely don't want that to happen. Then looking here, you can see the EPS. And Shark, they use a terrible glue. The glue on this fabric and for the Velcro and stuff like that, it comes off so easily, especially for the snaps up here. You can really just push them off trying to put the liner back in. So I do think that the liner is definitely a much better quality on the Shoei. We do though have a double D-ring system on the Shark, which a lot of people like, and we also have here a stainless steel ratchet, micro ratchet system, which some people don't like. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these helmets, that one will have a ratchet system and one will have a double D. So now it's time for our beep test, and we subjected both these helmets to this torturous test, and we ended up with some pretty interesting results. We had the Shoei GT Air 2, which came in at blocking 5 decibels of sound, whereas the Shark Spartan Carbon blocked around 8, which is perhaps a noticeable difference. A 3 decibel difference actually. So it was quite a nice result for Shark and a little bit disappointing for Shoei. If you're struggling to choose between these two helmets, make sure to visit championhelmets.com and scroll down to the product pages of these helmets, and that way you'll be able to compare their special product bundles. So this has been our comparison between the Shoei GT Air 2 and the Shark Spartan Carbon. I hope that it's helped you to figure out which helmet is better for you, and remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, and that way you can stay up to date with everything that we're doing. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all next time.